I'm actually sitting next to Secretary McMahon, the Secretary of Education. And so that was what happened. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I want you guys to know security is very tight getting in. It's Secret Service who wands you. You come in through magnetometers into this. And so obviously there's a ton of security here given how many top officials here, the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, top lawmakers who all have their own security details are also in the room. That just speaks to this. But as we were sitting here, and then moments later, obviously the president was rushed off stage, the vice president was rushed off stage. I saw Secretary Kennedy being rushed off as well, Stephen Miller and his wife, that they were moving quickly. But it's difficult for them to identify where everyone is in this very cramped ballroom as we're all kind of seated right next to each other.
Caitlin, are you hearing anything more in terms of the number of shooters or any shots fired or anything, information about where they were firing into? Was it confined to the lobby or inside of the actual ballroom?
So it's not clear because obviously it looks like the threat was coming near the stage, and that's where people thought that they heard gunshots. But then we also have reports that people who were seated kind of at the back of the room heard it. I mean, the acoustics obviously it's hard to judge. I personally did not hear the gunshots. I'm seated maybe 50 feet from the main stage where the president, the first lady, and the vice president were. And you kind of walk upstairs. It's in the basement of the Hilton. The security who just confirmed to me that the shooter that was here inside the Hilton where the president was, it's been pretty dead, seemed to indicate that this person was in the lobby. But I mean, I want you guys to know this is all just coming in as we're literally standing here in the room reporting on this as it's happening. And I just to give you insight into this room, obviously it's always a huge gathering of media, but when the president comes, it generates a lot of interest. So there are some of those powerful figures in media, entertainment, news, Washington that are inside this room right now, just to give you a sense of what this security nightmare is just like.
Yeah, again, just let's reiterate what Caitlin has just told us and bring people up to speed as to what we know. This is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or what was the White House Correspondent Dinner at the Washington Hilton Hotel. About 10 minutes ago, people heard things and the room was cleared out very quickly. The president, the vice president, the entire dais, most of the cabinet is there as well, taken out of the room. Caitlin, who is in there, Caitlin Collins, is reporting she is hearing from a security official that there were shots fired, perhaps in the lobby, by someone who is now dead. Now, we don't have any information this person got in the room or near the president or any official, but there does appear to have been shots fired outside. You can see officials right now sweeping the area, going through, and we have no information about who the individual might be or anything like that. I will say, as Caitlin was saying, this is one of the most secure rooms on earth tonight. You have the president, the vice president, much of the entire cabinet there, prominent media figures as well. It takes a long time to get in, and everyone is thoroughly screened. So questions will be asked about how someone even got to the lobby. Let's go to Brian Stelter and Manu Raju now, who are there for the latest on what you are hearing, gentlemen.
And this information, John, that you've been reporting is news to most of the people in the ballroom. Most folks in the ballroom do not yet know anything about shots being fired. What have you seen?
I only saw, when I was sitting at the table, I saw President Trump getting